Nevada's water crisis has been a long time coming. 36 years ago, state lawmaker turned Nevada Congresswoman Dina Titus was calling for a, quote, ring around the valley. It was a growth boundary in an effort to conserve water.
Our evening anchor Tricia Keene recently sat down with a congresswoman who took a lot of backlash for this idea.
Democratic Congresswoman Dina Titus has had a long career as a Southern Nevada politician. Back in the 1990s, as a state senator, she created controversy when she advocated for growth boundaries with a ring around the valley to manage our growth and conserve precious resources like water.
How did you come up with that idea?
Well, it was a boundary that came to be called the ring around the valley. And some cities in the West already had it. You saw some in Portland and some in Seattle. And I thought, well, if we grow up instead of out, that will deal with the problem of sprawl. It was about land use, about transportation, which creates bad air quality, and use of water.
The idea behind the ring around the valley was to grow up, not out.
You had a lot of critics say that it was kind of crazy.
Well, you're right. The developers hated it. They put my picture on the cover of their magazine with a noose around my neck. So they called it ring around the collar, ring around the rosy. They very much opposed it in the legislature because they thought it would cut off development. And I kept saying, no, we're not going to stop development. We're just going to do it smart.
Had that been implemented, how do you think things here in Southern Nevada would have looked like today? Would it have made a difference?
Well, I believe it would have. While there have been improvements, I believe that growth boundary would have made a difference.
Today, Titus says critics of her ring around the valley idea have apologized to her. And ironically, today, Lake Mead is in her district, a stark reminder of today's water woes.
You can see the bathtub rings as you fly over there, how much the lake has dropped since the time, as I remember, when the water was coming over the spillway at the dam. Now, we've had a good snow year, a good rain year this time, but you can't make up for 1,200 years of drought with one season. We need a lot more.
Are you concerned for the future?
Well, I absolutely am.
Titus says there is a lot of federal money going into drought resiliency and says with our rapid growth, more absolutely needs to be done, like reassessing the use of Colorado River water.
You don't want to get in the situation California's been in the past where you can't flush the Johnny when you go in the bathroom. That's not a very good tourist attraction. So we do have to be more creative, and that's why I think we've got to look at the agreement along the Colorado River. 6 of the 7 states agreed to it, and California says, no, we're keeping our share. If you don't like it, just sue us because of the old law of the river. Nobody dreamed there would be 2 million people here in this valley when they first did those allocations.
Titus says when she first came up with the idea of the ring around the valley, we were building an elementary school a month just to keep up with the growth in the late 90s. And she says we are once again one of the fastest growing cities in the country and still insists that we need long-term solutions to address our water crisis. And we invite you to join Channel 13 and ABC News for full coverage on the power of water. We will be airing stories all week long, culminating in a water special on Thursday from 6:30 to 7.